Hello, Honors Algebra 2. This is Mrs. Stein doing a video for the homework from Thursday, October 7th. I am absent today and until Wednesday of next week. There is a quiz coming up on Tuesday, so I'm adding to the video library. So the homework for Thursday was page 13 in your packet, and it was 5 through 12. So with number 5, it's 1/5 to the x power. If I am looking at that exponential equation, I'm looking at both the a and the b value. The a is the initial value, usually associated with when x is 0. B is the growth or decay. So I am noticing that since I do not see a number in front of the decay factor, I know 1/5 is a decay factor because it's between 0 and 1. There is no number in front of 1/5, and so I know that my a value is 1. That makes my y-intercept 1, and then I've plugged in a couple of points to help me create the graph. If I take 1/5 to the -1 power, remember negative exponents flip the fraction so that it becomes 5 to the 1 power, and so another point would be -1/5. 1/5 raised to the 1 power is 1/5. 1/5 is easier to graph as 0.2. So here's what your graph would look like for number 5. A decreasing graph with a y-intercept of 0, 1. Number 6. 2/3 is my decay factor. It's between 0 and 1, so I know it's a decreasing graph. My a value this time, or y-intercept, is 0, 4. So on my table, I'm going to do 0, 4 as my first point. Remember, 2/3 to the 0 power is 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. 4 times 1 is 4. -1 flips your fraction of 2/3 to be 3/2. 3/2 times 4 is 6. Another point is -1/6. Last is 1, so 2/3 raised to the 1 power is 2/3. That leaves me 8/3, easier to graph as 2 2/3, or 2.666. And here is our graph with that intercept. So here's the graph for number 6. Also decreasing, but this time with a y-intercept of 0, 4. Trying to get it to move up a little bit to make room for number 7. Number 7 is 3 to the negative power, so be careful. 3 to the negative power is the same thing as 3 over 1. 3 over 1 to a negative x flips your growth or decay factor and changes the exponent to positive. Now we can see this is also a decreasing function. The a value, since there's no number in front of 1/3, is 1. I know it's decay again because it's 1/3, which is between 0 and 1. My points, 0 and 1. 1/3 raised to the 0 power is 1. -1, if that is the power that 1/3 is raised to, flips your fraction and changes the exponent to positive. So now my y-intercept is, I'm sorry, not my y-intercept. My next point is -1/3. Last, I'll take 1/3 to the 1 power, which leaves 1/3, which should be easy to graph as 0.333. And here is our graph for number 7. Decreasing with a y-intercept of 0, 1. Last, I have 3/4 6 to the negative x. So I'm going to rearrange it to make it easier to work with. 3/4 is my a value. And 6 is the same as 6 over 1 to the negative power. Tells me to flip 6 over 1 to be 1/6. And now the exponent is positive. So picking my points, the y-intercept when 0 goes into my equation, 1/6 to the 0 power is 1, so my y-intercept is 3 over 4, or 0.75. When I raise 1/6 to the -1, that again flips your fraction to be 6 over 1. 6 times 3/4 is 9 over 2, easier to graph as 4.5. 1/6 to the 1 power is 1/6. When you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerators and denominators. That becomes 3 over 24, which is the same as 1/8. And lastly, here is my graph for number 8. On the next page, I am doing 9, 10, 11, and 12. And number 9 asks, which of the two 8 graphs above are mirror images of each other? I have highlighted or brought down one, which is y equals 3 to the x power. If you look at number 7, y equals 3 to the negative x power. Those are going to be mirror images of each other. So I'm choosing 1 and 7. For number 10, which function would produce a graph that's a mirror image of the one in problem 4? 3 times 10 to the x. Sorry, I was briefly interrupted. I'm on question number 10 from the same homework from October 7th. So number 10 says, what function would produce a graph that's the mirror image of the one in problem 4? Problem 4 is 3 times 10 to the x power, which looks like this. So 3 is going to be my y-intercept. It's an increasing graph because 10 is greater than 1. To get a mirror image to that graph, I still want it to go through 3. So 3 times 10 to the negative x power. You can also write that as 3 times 1/10 to the x power. 10 to the negative x is the same as 1/10 to the x power. Number 11 asks you to do the same for number 5. So number 5 is a decreasing graph with a y-intercept of 1. My mirror image is going to be 1/5 to the negative x power, which is the same thing as writing 5 to the x power. 5 to the x power is going to be the inverse. Sorry, I said inverse, but that's not what I meant. It is a mirror image over this y-axis. So that is not an inverse. Remember, inverses are mirror images over y equals x. Last one, number 12. How might you write the function in problem 6? Problem 6 looks like this. 4 times 2/3, which is our decay factor, to the x power. And if you remember from the table on the previous page for number 6, I said that in order to plug points in, you can flip the fraction or the decay factor and raise it to the negative x power. I hope this helped you do your homework, and I will see you soon.